Welcome students. In this video we're going to learn about the simulation of single phase, full wave, full control converter and then semi control converter. Okay. First of all, this is the circuit diagram for your full control converter. We have four thyristors here, 1, 3 and 2, 4, and we have a AC supply and then load. So how ACRs are triggered is, so in the positive of cycle. Okay, so for the angle from 0 to 180 degree, so ACR1 and ACR4 will get triggered. So the current direction will be from supplied from the ACR1, from that to load, from there to ACR4, again to the neutral. This is for first to 180 degree. So on the next to 180 degree, that is your negative off cycle. So this is for positive off cycle, and this is for your negative off cycle. So the negative off cycle, ACR2 and then ACR3. So these two thyristors will get triggered. Okay. So the current will travel from supply, from that to ACR3, from that to load, and from that to ACR2, and finally to your neutral. So this is how the current conduction take place during the positive off cycle and negative off cycle. So due to which we have a voltage drop across the load, that will be taken as your output DC voltage. So here the main thing is, so when we are triggering the pulses, okay, so we will trigger the gate at alpha degree. For example, if you take alpha is equal to 30, at 30 degree we will trigger IG1 and IG4, that is ACR1 and ACR4 for the positive off cycle, and for the negative off cycle, that is from 182 to 5, that is 360. So we will trigger the ACR2 and ACR3, which will be equal to pi plus alpha, that is alpha plus 180 degree. So we will fire the gate for every 180 degree. So that is the main thing we have to take from the waveform and all. Okay. So now we're gonna see the simulation of single phase full control converter. Let's create a new file. Okay. So here we need a AC voltage source, right? So an AC voltage source, and then we need the thyristors. So totally we need 4 thyristors. So 1, 2 and 3, and we have 4. So next we need a load. First of all, we will take the resistive load. Okay. So and now we need to have some voltmeter and ammeter for the measurement of required voltages and required current. So here I am going to take voltage probe, that is to measure the output DC voltage and input DC voltage. Okay. Similarly, we have to take an ammeter to measure the current through the load. So these are the required components. Now just rotate the component so that the connection will be easy. So just select the component and click this button. This is for rotation. Okay. Similarly, do the same for all available thyristor and other components. So you can just move the thyristor by selecting and dragging out. So now use the connection wire. Okay, so this is a wire. So just use this to connect the components. So first thyristor. So make sure it should be connected to this thyristor also. Okay. So for that I'm just moving the. So now we need a switching pulses for all the 4 thyristors. Okay. So here we have the switching block. So 4 switching blocks are needed, 1, 2, and this one, and this one. So just to flip the blocks. So the AC supply, we have peak ammeter of 325 volt with the frequency 50 hertz. Okay. And the load side, just take the resistor values 100. So the main thing is here you have to give the switching pulse, same switching pulse for this one and this one. So for these 2 thyristors the switching pulse must be same, and for these two resistors the switching pulse must be same. Okay, so here the frequency is 50. Let us take the firing angle at 30 degree. Okay, it is on 30 and off on 35. Same can be repeated for this one. So 50, so here it is 30 and 35. So these two resistors must be triggered after 180 degree. So just set the frequency as 50, and here we already set the firing angle as 30. So 30 plus 180, 210 to 250. Okay, and here also the same. So 210 to 250, and frequency should be 50. So all the connections are made and all the required data are given. So now add the simulation control. So I have taken the total time as 0.1. Okay, so this is a input voltage. So and this probe is mainly for your DC voltage. This is for your, so just save the file. So now run this simulation. So the input voltage here, so this is our input waveform, and add the screen. So we need the DC voltage. So again add a screen, we need the DC current. So this is the final output. So here we have our input voltage and our output voltage, and then output current. You can see we have triggered the firing angle at 30 degree for the first tee off, and then we triggered the angle 210 at the negative off. So we have zero conduction from 180 to 210, and similarly from 0 to 10. Since we are using R load, both voltage and current, so both are always will be in phase, and you can simply see the output will be equal to, output current will be equal to V by R. So here it will be 325, here it will be 3.25, because we have chosen the resistor value as 100. Okay, so similarly you can analyze the average value, RMS value, power factor, THD, or you can even perform FFT, that is Fourier functions. Okay, so again here we have some measurement blocks to measure the maximum value, minimum value, what is the next maximum point, what is the next minimum point. So everything available here also, and you can choose it from here also. So we have both the options. So now go for RL load. Okay, so let us try for RL load. So choose inductor. So now just connect the wires. So take the value as usual 100 millihenry, that is 0.1. So now run the simulation. Okay, so your input voltage, so DC voltage, then finally your DC current. So this is the output for your RL load. So because of the presence of L value, we have a negative voltage at this point. Based on the inductor value, your current will become continuous or discontinuous. So if you choose the alpha is greater than 30, it will be always continuous. For this we can change the firing angle. Okay, so now let us try with the firing angle of 60. So it should be 60, 65, and here also it will be 60 and 65. So just add 180, so it will become, so 240 here and 245 here. Here also the same thing, 240 and 245. Okay. So now run the simulation. So I just want to see the DC output voltage and then DC output current. Okay. So you can see the variation in the output current. Okay. So during this point, that is at the negative point, so you can simply see the current not become zero. It is still getting some positive current, so that your ACR is just conducting. Okay. So similarly, try for RLE load. So just to connect a battery here with a supply voltage less than 325. So this will be for single phase full control converter. So now we shall move on to semi-converter. That is, so if you replace any thyristor with diodes, then it can be called as semi-control converter, because it consists of both uncontrolled device and then controlled device. That's why the name is semi-controlled converter. So here we have two configurations, that is symmetrical and asymmetrical. So this is called a symmetrical configuration because this leg is just symmetrical to this one. But here you can simply see, so the first leg is mainly full of thyristor and second leg is full of diodes. Okay, now we shall go for symmetrical configuration. Okay, so the working of symmetrical configuration, based on the load it will vary. Okay, so if you have R load, so we will have only two modes, that is for positive half cycle the conduction will be from thyristor to load, from there to D2, from there to your source. For the negative off, it will be from thyristor 2 to load, from there to D1, from there to supply. So this is for R load. In case of RL load, there will be some freewheeling inside the thyristors. For example, even the thyristor T1 gets turned off, so there will be freewheeling between your load and diodes. Okay, so for example, this is a freewheeling mode. So here, even though your thyristor D2 and D2 both are turned off, current will be just freewheeling through thyristor 1, load and D1. So in that case, your AC source will be cut off from the thyristor. So there won't be any input supply. So there will be a zero output voltage, but there will be some load current. So this will be same for other two modes. So that is for negative half cycle. Okay, the final diagram will be like this for the output graph. Okay, the same thing. So you got to fire the ACR at alpha, that is for any degree, like 30 degree or 60 degree, anything, and the next thyristor should be triggered after 180 degree. Okay, so if this is triggered at 30, then thyristor 2 will be triggered at 30 plus 180, that is 210. Okay, similarly, so from alpha to pi, thyristor 1 and diode 2 will get conduct, and from pi to pi plus alpha. So during this situation, so there will be freewheeling for R load. So in that time, the thyristor T1 and D1 will connect. So for the next negative cycle, thyristor T2 and diode D1 will connect. So this will get repeated. So we will do the same in simulation. Okay, just replace this by diodes. Okay, simply you can delete the thyristor here and replace that by diodes. So here we have some diode for this one here and for this one here. So just rotate the diode and connect it. Similarly, this one. Okay, so now we need to change switching pulse for these two thyristors. So before, for the full converter, the firing pulses for this one and this one both are same. Now we have to change that. So let us take this as 60-65. Okay, and here it should be 60 plus 180, that is 240 to 245. Okay, So first we will take R load alone, then we go for L load. Okay, so the connections are over. So just simple replace two diodes, okay, and just connect the, and another thing, sorry, so we are going for a symmetrical configuration, right? So in symmetrical configuration, resistor will be in the upper position, okay. So that is thing we have to cut this, we have to paste here. Similarly, just cut this and paste here, okay. So this is the main thing. You just the connection is wrong means the whole answer will become wrong. So make sure either it follow symmetrical configuration or asymmetrical configuration. So better go for symmetrical configuration. So anyhow both the answers will be same, whatever may be the configuration. But the symmetrical is simple one. So now you can just compare this with the diode. Sorry, figure here. So we have two thyristors in the upwards and two diodes in the downwards. So same thing consider here. Now just run the simulation. So our input voltage and your output voltage here, and then the output current. Okay, so since we choose the firing angle as 60 degree, so we have a lot of disconnection. I'll simply say there was a moreover 1/3 part of your positive half cycle was disconnected from 0 to 60 degree here, and again here 180 to 240. So this is for R load. Now we can go for R L load. Let us have LS 0.01, 0.1. Okay, just want to see the output voltage and then the output current. So the main thing you have to compare with the full converter and semi converter. So in the full converter for RL load, so we have a negative voltage, right? So but here there won't be any negative voltage. Semi converter will conduct only in the first quadrant, that is the voltage and current, it should be always positive. But in case of full converter, it will act in first quadrant and fourth quadrant, okay. That is the current is always positive, but your voltage is positive and then negative, okay. This is the main difference between your full converter and then semi converter. So whatever may be the L value, you will never get a negative voltage in the semi converter and won't get the negative current, okay. So this is the main difference, and just do the same for E load, that is just add a battery here and see the output voltages. So why we didn't get any negative voltages is mainly because of the presence of diodes. So I told, right, so for R load we have 4 modes of operation. So during the negative half cycle, diode, sorry, for the, let us go for first mode, okay. So for the first mode we will trigger the thyristor 1, okay. So the conduction is mainly from thyristor 1 to load, from there to D2, from there to your supply. So whenever the thyristor whenever your supply changes to negative half cycle, so this will become positive and this will become negative. Whenever this will become positive, your diode D2 will get reverse bias, at the same time your diode D1 will get forward bias. So like this. So during this set, even though we didn't start triggering T2, so T1 will be on, so D2 will get turn off or reverse bias, and D1 will get forward bias, okay. So this is off and this is on. So due to this, we have a freewheeling current through diode and thyristor and then load. So because of this, your supply voltage get cut off from the thyristor and we have zero voltage across the load, okay. That's why we are getting a negative voltage in the, we didn't get any negative voltage in our output. So you can simply say, so this is the final output for your semi-control converter. So in case of full control converter, Okay, so you can see the graph. For R load, it will be always positive. Okay, so this is the graph for your R load. But in case of RL load, that is the load with a series connection of resistor and then inductor. Okay, in that case, so this will be your final output. So we will have a negative voltage from pi to pi plus alpha. Similarly, from 2 pi to 2 pi plus alpha. So this will be varied, and here we have a option, right? So alpha is less than 90 and alpha is greater than 90. So why we are mentioning this is it is operated in two quadrant, that is first quadrant and then fourth quadrant. So for alpha less than 90 degree, it will act as a rectifier. So the mode of operation is rectification for alpha less than 90 degree. So in that time, power is transferred from source to load. Okay, but here I have written is wrong. Okay, this is power is transferred from source to load. Okay, similarly during the inversion operation, so in inversion operation, that is alpha is greater than 90 degree, power is transferred from load to source. So your single phase full control converter will act as both rectifier and inverter based on the firing angle provided. Okay, so the firing angle is less than 90, it will act as a rectifier. If it is greater than 90, it will act as an inverter. But there won't be any provision for like this for semi-control converter. It will always act as a rectifier, whatever may be your firing angle. So try on your own. If you have any query, kindly let me know. Thank you guys.